Where would you say you are in the recovery process? Like ahead of schedule, on schedule?
On schedule. I got about another week until I start moving around and upping my speed a little bit. So time's gonna tell, but take it easy. So got plenty of time to get back to it.
Have they given you an idea when you can get back to like is training camp the goal, or have they given
Yeah,
you anything?
training camp's obviously the goal. That's the long goal. Hopefully get back by OTAs, but if not, there's no rush to it. So training camp's for sure a goal.
What has this period been like for you since you've been
Uh,
shelved?
it's been good. I've kind of found different ways to show myself and be who I am, and the opportunities that have come from that have been awesome. And obviously the main thing is football. So I'll get back to that when I'm ready to go. It's football from there on out.
What does your rehab look like right now?
Um, you know, Getting my dorsiflexion back in the foot obviously is the main thing, just from being stuck in a boot for 8 weeks. But just strengthening it up, and I broke my bone and dislocated my ankle. So anything you can imagine to get the ankle moving again is what I have to get done.
We haven't talked to you since that actually happened. How, if you can take us back to that moment, like what was the emotion? Like how horrifying was that? I guess is like.
I mean, it wasn't too bad. I seen it, and then 30 seconds later it was straight again. So it wasn't too bad. But as you guys can tell, I was trying to get back up, and walk off the field. So in the moment, I didn't really feel it until I really got into the X-ray room. So and by then it was already back in place, and obviously it was still broken and stuff. But it didn't feel too bad until probably after surgery. So.
Cam, how hard was it to watch the team struggles from the sidelines?
It sucked, because you can't be out there to help. And when you can't do something to make sure that your team's in a better position to win, or you can't contribute at all, other than having the energy on the sidelines and making sure the guys in the building have a positive mindset. It's hard to be in that situation, but I tried to take it as best as I could.
Cam, have they said anything to you about the risk of, are you getting back to 100%? Is it possible?
That's not even a question. I'm gonna be back. I played 7 games in the NFL and I got hurt. There's a long road ahead, and that is not gonna stop me.
When we've talked to Jackson, he's been very optimistic about the future of this franchise and thinks that things can turn around somewhat quickly. What kind of conversations have you had around that, and how do you feel about the future of the franchise?
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep our conversations out of it, but this place is special. They're doing a good job drafting. I'm excited for this upcoming draft, and seeing who stays around, and I'm excited to build something here. It's no matter who's in this building. We have our quarterback, so I'm excited for that. Simply, we build the pieces around him to be successful, and I'm juiced to see what this franchise can be within the next 5 years.
Did you learn anything about Jackson? Just watching him from the sideline, while you weren't playing.
I knew a lot about Jackson already, so even being on the field with him, he was the same guy, But just like phone calls, calling him, and feeling his pain, knowing that I can't be out there with him, and him kind of showing that through the phone, and being understanding that he wants me out there too. The energy is different when we're both out there together. So I'm excited to get back, and he'll be all right.
What do you think is it?
Is he the only quarterback with a certain stat line or something in history? So, he's going to be just fine. He does everything right. He prepares well, and he makes sure that everything he does is the right thing. So I'm excited for his future and what he's got in store.
What's important for the Giants and the next coach from a player's perspective?
No matter who the coach is, the players got to step it up. We have to lead an example for each other. Even Coach Calf just touched on it. We have to step up to each other and show that we care and have those hard conversations with each other, with the coaches out the building, even during OTAs. That's something that we have to do as a team to make sure that this team can excel, because if you can't have those hard conversations, you're never going to get through those hard battles when the games come around.
What did you think of the firing of Dave?
I'm not really going to comment on that. I love Dave. He was a great guy. He's a great coach. He gave me the opportunity to be here. And he's somebody that I'm always going to look at look up to. You know, he was my first coach in the NFL, and he taught me a lot about football. So I'm obviously going to stay in contact throughout life with him. You know, he's still a human being, so I'm definitely going to be in contact with him. You know, we built a good relationship while he was here, and you know, I'm excited for the future. I'm not really going to speak too much on that. Just that's about it.
What's your recovery plan like? Where you plan on staying here, going home? Like, how do you?
Yeah,
plan on approaching the
I'll be
offseason?
back and forth here in Arizona. You know, trying to get healthy. The main thing is to get healthy. So wherever I feel, if I go back to Arizona and I don't feel like I'm getting healthy, then I'll come back and get healthy here. I'm not really set on a specific goal yet or a specific place, but right now it's, you know, find the best place to get healthy and make sure that I can get back to full potential.
What was your rookie year like? You became kind of like a viral Giants like cult phenomenon. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. You know, everywhere I've been, I've kind of been, you know, the rah-rah just because I'm loud and obnoxious. But, you know, it speaks where we still went, you know, 4-13. So if you're the face of the franchise and you're not a good franchise, then there's still an issue, you know, and it's not that big of a deal. But, you know, if I'm the face of the franchise when we're winning the Super Bowl, then you can ask me that question in a year or two. But, you know, it's awesome, you know, guys like this being around the building, just showing love, and that's what it's for.
Abdul talked to the team about just how the losers basically got to stop yesterday. Darts talked about it. You talked about it. How much do you as young guys feel like you got to be almost, maybe not the leaders, but set an example of how you want things to change around here?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we have to have those tough conversations with each other. Make sure that, you know, everything that we do in this building and out of this building is for this building. You know, we have to understand that, you know, if we go out and drink, we can't be driving. That's something that people get in trouble over in the off season, and that's something that we need to take serious. There's certain things you have to do in the off season to make sure that when you look back at it, it's like, did I do that for my team? Did I do the right decision? So, you know, just making sure that everybody in the building is working for the right goal in the building.
Cam, do you think this team is close to turning it around?
It's not even a question. It's for sure close. I think next year is going to be a big difference from, you know, what was produced this year. You know, I think this offseason is going to be huge, especially us as rookies. You know, Jackson being a rookie quarterback, it's hard to lead a team full of vets and guys that, you know, vets look at rookies as rookies, you know. So you have to kind of fight through that if you are a true leader and you fight through that for your rookie year. I mean, things start to change when your leaders start to be able to step up and take the role they're supposed to.